This is Opes and Dreams, a podcast with two alcohol-free besties that share stories and experiences on navigating the Wisconsin and Midwestern culture of drinking and how they manage to have more fun than ever without it. Hosted by Karin Wall and Kylie Parsons.
Hello, friends. Karin and Kylie here from, well, you know what you're listening to because you hit the button most likely. So we kind of hinted on our socials recently that we kind of had some big news and we were going to make kind of a big change. So I wanted to share what that is with you all. So as you know, if you've been listening from the beginning, we've been kind of trying to find our footing, and I'm just trying to figure out where we fit into the world of podcasting and how we can approach the podcast in a way that allows for it to be successful and fun for us. And we have been waiting for something natural to come along, kind of like our niche or our theme or what we're all about aside from what we've been doing so far. And the natural kind of progression that has kind of come up for us is how we both live our lives alcohol free. So this isn't to say that this is going to become a predominantly just focused on alcohol free podcast. This just means that we are going to be leaning into it a lot more. And that doesn't mean that this isn't a space for you if you're not sober or sober curious. We really want to make this a podcast where we're showing the contrast between somebody who lives pretty loudly about their being, their alcohol-free life, which is me, and how Kylie kind of she lives her life where her being alcohol-free really just exists in the background, and it's not like a forefront of her day-to-day like it is for me. So we're hoping that this will be a space where those who maybe might be considering it can kind of see the different ways in which you can live alcohol free and just that life can exist without it. And whether that means we're maybe pushing it some days or talking more about it. Some days we might not focus on it as much, but there will be parts of us that are doing it. I know our social media is going to be leaning more heavily into it, just so we kind of have like an across the board kind of theme and some consistency to hopefully be able to reach some new audiences and make this, the reason we're doing this, make sense. So yeah, that's kind of what we are thinking and what we have going on. And of course, we welcome any and all feedback on that. We've had a lot of you with us from the very beginning. This is episode 24. So we're finally
25.
figuring it out. May 25.
Episode 5 of season 2.
Episode 5 of season 2. So episode 25, right?
Yeah.
Total?
Yeah.
So we're figuring it out. And here we are. So I'll let Kylie kind of explain her thoughts on this because, of course, with our living our lives very differently, with being alcohol free, we have, different thoughts on the idea also. So I'll let Kylie jump on and kind of lean in and explain where she's at with it.
Let's just lean in. And then should we do the Rockaway? Just do the Rockaway.
I can't move too much because then I look all glitchy from my brand new brick walled loft apartment.
We both recently remodeled, as you can see if you're watching on our YouTube.
Or anywhere. Even our those clips will be posting. As you can see, we've really upgraded.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Speaking of upgrades, I consider living life alcohol-free a definite upgrade. Although, as Karin said, I'm not as loud about it. I do talk about it, to the people that I see frequently. It comes up a lot, but it organically came as Karin has been taking sort of a different road in her career paths, leaning into sober coaching and helping others. This was just a really good fit and a really good direction for us to take. And the podcast needed a purpose. We needed a why. We needed a thing to keep to keep going. And I think it'll be really helpful moving forward with, getting some new followers, but also helping people because we want to normalize it, I guess. Living in Wisconsin, Midwestern culture, growing up as 90s kids, Gen X and millennials, we grew up with a certain kind of like normal when it came to being introduced with alcohol, as we both talked about with our stories before. So I think it'll be really good to just kind of stay on that path. And as she said, also, it's not just for people who are alcohol free, sober curious, people that love to drink and love to black out and party. Yeah, we also want your perspective and your feedback because everybody's opinion may not be agreeable, but it matters and everybody has one. And I see it as sharing perspectives to accept people easier. And maybe it'll help people in their social lives being out and about, dealing with somebody who is a problem friend who's drunk all the time around them, or dealing with the friend who's newly sober and you don't know how to socialize with them now that they're sober and you're not. Like there's lots of different perspectives that we want to tackle. So this is going to make for a ton of content.
Yeah, we're really, really excited about this. I mean, we're not going to say it's been an easy way to come to this decision. There was definitely a little concern and back and forth about it, putting it lightly. But I think we've reached a place where we're able to both be happy with this decision and this
Yeah.
kind of direction we're going to take with it. So we're really excited about it. We hope that you guys will be excited about it too. I know that I reached out to, I know one of our top listeners to see, if she would still listen and if that would be
Yeah.
something because she is not alcohol free per se and,
Mhm.
still on board. And I think it's a lot to learn and just, hopefully we can meet people where they're at, and I think
Yeah.
it'll be for everybody still in whatever way, and, we plan to have, obviously all of the guests we've had so far have been, people that are living in the alcohol-free space as it is,
Coincidentally, that was not planned.
coincidentally. So it's not really anything that we haven't already been
Not a far
doing, we just
reach.
haven't leaned into it as much
Yeah.
as we plan to now. So,
Mhm.
yay, we're excited.
Yay,
Good.
we are AF,
Yeah.
which I love that as a double entendre within like social media. Hashtagging AF is going to feel awesome in both ways.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm really, really excited about it. Do you know what else I'm really excited about?
What?
So, I'm a big fan of non-alcoholic beverages.
You are?
I went a while where I didn't really drink them. Like, I wasn't like, when I go out, I'm not really, like, seeking an alcohol-free beer. I did when I first quit drinking, I drank them a lot, but then a period of time went by where I got really into the sparkling water and stuff, but I'm really kinda back in the NA beer place again, and I think it's
Back
because of
into
this
the
time of it's
fermentation.
this time of year, it's like fall and bonfires and all of that. So speaking of which, I went to one of the grocery stores here in town today, and I just wanted to see what the alcohol-free selection is looking like these days because I know that so many more have come out, and I was so pleasantly surprised to find just like I have pictures, I mean, maybe we can think about putting one up here somewhere, just
Yeah.
like a full aisle, and then a full space of, like, 3 deep in a beer cooler of all alcohol-free beers and
Amazing.
liquor and all of this stuff, and so I've found one that I've never had before, and it's this, Surly Brewing Company Outlook Good. Surly is a brewery out of Minneapolis, and this is their oatmeal brown, so I haven't tried it, so
Mm,
we're gonna be trying it, and you're gonna get a live reaction of me trying it here today.
I love it.
But I found out after I was like kind of looking up their brewery and then their just other alcohol free options, they make a tap version. So I did not know. And I've been saying, gosh, I wish they made NA tap beer
Everything
because I,
tastes better off the tap.
I haven't seen it anywhere, and I think
Yeah.
that's just because people aren't buying it or maybe local distributors don't have it available because maybe they don't think it won't sell as well, but
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a market to tap into. I'm sorry about my burp there. I'm pulling a Kylie. Just really excited. It's
You were
excited
so
burp.
surprised by yourself.
Disappointed.
That was adorable.
I'm just kind of disappointed in myself for burping on camera, but here we are. I'm really
I loved
red.
it. I
I'm
loved it.
really anyway. So if we know any hint, anybody that manages or owns a bar
Oh
or
gosh, if only we
anywhere,
knew. If only
if you
we
know
knew.
anybody, check out this tap beer idea, this NA tap beer. Kylie, what do you got there?
So I just reached down, if you're watching, to grab my beverage. When I was a heavy drinker, I drank PBR. And then when
Oh.
I quit for a month, I went back to drinking, but I didn't want to drink beer, so I drank vodka. And then I would black out all the time. So it took me a while to get back to wanting to drink beer. I had a hard time wanting the smell of it and the bloated, and it just like not drinking beer anymore was a big reason that I didn't want to drink at all, just because I hated how it made me feel. But once in a while, I will enjoy one, maybe three quarters of a PBR NA because I'm at the point now where I can crack one and drink most of it. I'll never finish the whole thing because the last bit is always gross for some reason. It's not that it
Yeah,
gets warm, it's just I don't want it.
yeah. PBR NAs is what got me through being able to sit around the fires when I first quit drinking with friends and be able to survive because I was I was a dark beer drinker. I've always liked like bourbon barrel stouts have always been my favorite. And I am just like anxiously awaiting some NA company that can come up with something similar to a Central Waters bourbon barrel stout would be everything.
Does Guinness have an NA?
They do, and it's
You
fantastic.
tried
Yeah,
it?
I had
Good.
it on, St. Patrick's Day actually last year. It was
Great.
the first time I had ever tried it, and
Cool.
it tastes exactly like it. So,
Yeah.
there's options out there, and, also, if you're not, sober or sober curious or alcohol-free or alcohol-free curious, having an option of having an NA on a normal night out is very beneficial to you.
Mhm.
It really helps to take a break, like, every other drink if you're a beer drinker and, like, have an NA IPA in
Yeah,
between your regular IPAs, and
we
it's
have a friend that does that
gonna be really helpful to
all the
you, you
time.
know? Yeah. So I'm
Great.
gonna open this delicious oatmeal
Cracker.
brown ale from Surly and see what it tastes like here. Let's
Enjoy
see.
this ASMR.
Yeah. Let's see what it's all about here. I always take 3 sips.
Oh. Uh-huh.
As Emily Gilmore would say, that's the way to do it.
Agreed. Mm, yeah. It still tastes like a PBR.
This is really, really good.
You're into
I
it?
mean, really, really good. I would probably prefer it poured into a glass. I just don't have
A frosted glass.
one right now with not even frosted. I actually don't love a frosted glass. A
Wow.
lot of beer isn't actually intended to be into a frosted glass. There's like some science behind it. I don't really know what it is.
Mm.
Like a light beer, but like a dark beer, not usually. They're usually in like wider goblet kind of style glasses to like open them up and get the flavor out more. Um, this is really, really delicious, and this would definitely hit the spot for me when I'm, you know, craving a darker, which clearly I was today because this is out of all of the options that there were, I was interested in like a porter or something darker. And so this really, really is really good. I always liked the oatmeal browns, and it's got 50 calories, 14 grams of carbs. So it's pretty low compared to regular beer, too. And it's really like velvety and full flavored, and it doesn't have that kind of like aftertaste that some like alcohol free beers have. I would definitely have this again, which is great because I have a 6 pack of them.
That's a good thing you like it.
Yeah. I have had ones that I really don't like that I wouldn't drink again. So I'm not going to go over that list right now. But yeah, that was really good. So if anybody's looking to or didn't know that there's dark beers made NA, because I think a lot of people think it's just like lighters or IPAs that are being made.
Yeah.
There's a whole world of them out there. So
Mhm.
yeah, how's the PBR?
It's great. We've had this 12 pack of cans in our kitchen since Alex cooked with it in the spring, maybe
Oh, so it's getting
months ago.
skunky.
Well, we just Just don't drink it. I
Right,
mean,
right,
even though it's NA, I still like I don't really crave beer as much. Plus, we drink a lot of those THC seltzers, and
right,
that scratches the other itch.
right.
But I mean, I love it. It's good. I still won't drink the whole thing. I'll drink like half of it.
Yeah, I think this is definitely, and I never really was a sit at home and drink beer kind of person anyway.
Yeah.
But this would definitely do it for me if it was offered out at a venue or a bar for me to sit and
Oh,
enjoy one at the bar. Like I definitely love like going to the Green Room Public House now that they're doing live music especially. And shout out to John for listening to me be extremely annoying about adding more mocktails and NA options. So grateful that you are willing to listen and do those kinds of things. It means a lot
it really
to me and other people I know that are sober. So thank you. Yeah,
from Public House.
yeah, pretty freaking awesome.
That's great.
So, what else we got going on? We haven't recorded in 2 weeks. So,
Yeah. Well, we had a big weekend. We had our in-laws, my in-laws in town. Alex's dad and his partner drove from New Jersey,
mm,
and they ended up staying in Baraboo because the way that they use hotel points, the hotels near us in Madison wouldn't accept them. So they stayed at a hotel all the way in Baraboo, and we had like a very quintessential Midwestern weekend. It was great. We
that's awesome.
did we ate at the Vintage in Sauk on the river
Love it
Thursday,
there.
and
They
then
also have
Friday.
a really great mocktail menu. Shout out
Yep,
to the vintage.
yep, they do. It was great. I can't remember which one I had. I think it was a lavender one, and it was delicious.
Yeah, nice.
And then Friday, we did the Ducks,
Oh, I love it.
where if you're not familiar, it's a vehicle that it's like a boat that has wheels, and they drive it through the woods, and then the wheels go up and they drive into the Wisconsin River, and then you float down the Wisconsin River, which is beautiful and scenic, and the driver is like a tour guide and says fun jokes. It was great. It was a blast.
Yeah, they're old World War II vehicles that they used
Yes,
to
that's
use that
right.
they refurbished
Yeah,
and drive them all over. Yeah, they're so awesome.
it's so cool. It was great. I hadn't done that since I was a teenager, and Tom and Linda had never done it, and obviously Devere, our 7-year-old, hadn't done it either, so that was fun. And then after that, we played mini golf at Pirates Cove,
Yes, that's the good one.
the best one.
Awesome.
And it was really funny because Tom and Linda are golfers.
Okay.
Her son is a professional golfer. They live right next to a golf course. They're big time golfers, and that's also a perk to why they drove instead of flying because then they could bring their clubs. But we went to do the mini golf, and they were excited to just have a good time. But then Alex started kicking all of our butts, and Linda was just like, why am I even here playing golf when you're kicking our butts at mini golf? Like, this isn't fair. It was so funny. It was a great time. I got some really cute pictures of Devere with his grandparents.
Good.
And we killed some time at their hotel and played cards, which I have a card game that I'd love to teach you. It was fun. We had dinner reservations at the Del Bar.
Nice.
Yeah. I hadn't
This
been there before. It
it's a great place.
was
It's like one
awesome.
of my favorite restaurants. Well, we were wanting to take you guys, so you're not supposed to go there without us, but that's fine.
Alex was
Unbelievable.
like, "Oh my God, we're in Baraboo. Let's go to the Del Bar for
Well,
dinner."
the Del Bar's in like Delton, different places. I always have to
They're
explain that
all
to you.
like, they're all
Different cities. They're completely different.
like right all next to
Different
each other.
they're different politics, villages, completely different cities. That's Lake Delton, there's Wisconsin Dells, and then Baraboo. Baraboo is we do not claim Baraboo as a part of our and nor do they claim us, to be fair. It's very different. Very different communities.
Yeah, no, their hotel was in Baraboo, but we hung out in, that main drag. We went to the
Lake Delton.
showboat, and we went to,
Right.
where all the mini golf is. I thought that was the Dells, where the mini golf and
So there's a point where Lake Delton turns into the Dells. So Lake Delton is where Del Bar is, and then it turns into the Dells like right before that upside down house after Mount Olympus is kind of where the like official like okay, now you're entering Wisconsin Dells area. So that's
no
like
regular
before
people know that.
I know.
So
Yeah.
anyway, We did that and it was great. Yeah, the Del Bar was awesome. And then Saturday, they came to Madison and we went to Warm Belly
Nice.
for the day. What else did we do? We did so much. We went out to eat. Where did we go Saturday? Now it's left my mind.
All right.
It happens. They
Yeah.
hung here at our house on Sunday and we watched the Packer game and Linda and I helped Devere build his felt Harry Potter. We went to
Very fun.
Barnes and Noble on Saturday. That's what we did.
That's a good weekend.
Where did we eat dinner Saturday? It's like poof, gone out of my brain.
It's all
It
right.
was rad.
Great. Great family weekend.
Tell everybody about your trip. You just took a
I climbed an entire mountain on this weekend.
you did.
I did a whole mountain. It's called Old Rag Mountain out in Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. I hiked with my brother, my nephew, and Dan. And Dan is my boyfriend for those who don't know. And we went out to see my brother. I haven't seen him in 10 years. He's a big supporter of this podcast and just of me in general. And so it was really, really nice to go and spend some family time with them. They live in this little town called Winchester, Virginia, which doesn't really have a lot going on. There's like this old town area, but it's historically very thick. Patsy
Hmm.
Cline's house is there, so we got to go see that. George Washington has an office there. I should say, the ghost of George Washington. But we stayed in the historic district and it's all very like history rich. It's beautiful. And then, yeah, we went out to Shenandoah National Park, which is about an hour from where they live, and did a hike unlike anything I've ever done before. I've done Angel's Landing, and Bryce Canyon, which are probably the biggest hikes I've ever done. But was a lot more strenuous, more of like a real hike up a mountain than those are. And there's an hour or a mile and a half of rock scrambling up at the top.
What is that?
So it is where it's like combined with like rock climbing. So you have to use the same kind of idea of trying to find places for your feet and your hands to hoist yourself up onto these giant rocks. To scramble around to keep like getting up to the top, because up at the top it gets really rocky and you have to go through these really narrow crevices. You have to
Mhm.
like crawl under and you just have to find like your footing, and it can be pretty treacherous. If it was wet, I would have never been able to do it because it got a little dicey. There was a point at what we thought was the top. It was like a false summit sort of thing. There's a part where you have to like get from one giant boulder to the other. And there was just a little too much of a gap for me in between that my brain just kind of froze. When I looked down and there's a large drop there, it was really hard for me to wrap my head around getting from one side to the other because it wasn't like flat. It was very uneven terrain. So I couldn't just like get my head around like balance and like getting from one side. So I actually like sat down and I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this because I'm really afraid of heights. So I was really, really scared. And then I just kind of like sucked it up and got myself over it and jumped across, and I made it. I didn't fall and I didn't die. There were a couple times where Dan had to like hoist me up on some of the areas because
Mhm.
I wasn't tall enough to like reach, or like I'd have to lift my leg up like almost up to my ear on some spots to like get my
Mhm.
foot up, and then you have to like hoist your whole entire body up. So it requires a ton of upper body strength, which turns out I have a little bit of. Who knew? Um, Having
Pilates.
a large butt does not help in these instances because I have a lot of weight on my backside.
Mhm.
So my balance of trying to figure out how to throw and propel my body around on those scrambles was tough, but once I figured it out, it was so awesome. It was beautiful. The colors were just starting to change. There were waterfalls and creeks, and it was just a really lovely weekend and a really nice pause to get away and spend time with family. Our Airbnb was amazing. Definitely like notes we were taking for our future home of what like needs we need to do this because this
Mhm.
is like the
Mhm.
coolest thing. They used all kinds of different like natural materials. You could tell a lot of it was refurbished, and it was like this old historical cabin that at some point was added on to. But the way they just used all of the materials was really beautiful, and there were skylights, and it was really awesome. But besides that, like Winchester doesn't have a ton going on. It's not like one of those like vacation destinations you're going to just go to by any means. But It was cool, and my, brother has 3 giant dogs, and, by giant, I mean literally the biggest dogs I've ever seen in my life. Like, one of them,
Oh,
his name is Jaeger. One of them is actually small, like, bigger than a small cow.
what's his name?
Huge. Jaeger.
Jaeger. Okay.
Jaeger, and then there's, Merle, who just the cutest thing, and then they have their gypsy girl, who is a yellow lab, and it was just really nice to see them and spend time with them.
That's
And
awesome.
it's wild how different vacations are when you don't drink and are
Yep.
able to, like, get out and do these, like, amazing active things and, be present for them, which I had never, until 5 years ago when I took vacations, I didn't, because if I was taking vacations, it was to go to a music festival and get really drunk or go party. So it's really nice to be able to prioritize being present with family on these
Mhm.
trips and bringing myself back into prioritizing my family in a way that makes sense to me. There's some family members that I have tried to maintain or create a relationship with in different ways, but realizing that that doesn't always work. Sometimes they're just family and it's just not going to work to keep them in your life all the time in certain ways. So to be able to cultivate a close relationship with somebody that is supportive of you in all ways, like my brother, is really important. And I'm very grateful for the clarity to be able to do that now.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yay. Yeah,
good stuff.
travel. I remember traveling, and drinking at the airport.
Yep.
Start party right away. And that's expensive. Everything at airports are really, really expensive. Beers were insane. And that was, for me, 8+ years ago. But I always like to now take a trip or a vacation as like a reset or a detox from everything. It's,
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water when I'm on vacation. I'll eat, some treats here and there, but I like to go to bed early and wake up early when I'm on, well, I'll sleep in sometimes, but it's just kind of a full reset. And I really appreciate sobriety on trips, especially.
Yeah. Just to be able to use your whole trip as like a wellness
Yeah.
retreat. I mean,
Right.
even if that's not the intention, it just kind of becomes that. Let's not say that Mexico by any means was a wellness retreat because we ate so much food. Oh my God. But
Oh,
that's another you're okay, there you go, you're back. We
yeah.
kinda disappeared for a second. But, that's another thing where we had an all-inclusive, right?
Yeah.
And we really, instead of, doing those all you can drink, I can't even imagine how I would have felt if I had access to all you can drink for an entire 4 days. That
Yeah.
would have been a really different experience, and this time it was all you can eat gelato and cake and, I mean, coffee, coffee, coffee. I
Man.
mean,
I just
just how different vacations are.
cringe at the thought of what that whole trip would have been like if all four of us had been drinking the way that we used to.
We would have never gone because we wouldn't have had the money to get there.
Right. That's true.
There's no way we would have been able to prioritize setting aside like $4,000 each.
Right.
I would have never been able to do it personally because there's no way I would have been able to stop myself from drinking long enough to save that money up. But
Yeah.
with not drinking, it was actually pretty easy to be able to, budget and prioritize that,
Right.
because I never would have been able to do it.
Yeah. No,
So,
I remember when I quit drinking for that month, I wrote down what I thought I would have spent because we still went out, we still went to shows, and I just kind of estimated. And it was February, so it was a short month. And I didn't spend $400.
right,
So that's a lot.
right. Yeah, it is. It is
It's a
a
car
lot.
payment. Buy yourself a
It's just
car. Skip the alcohol.
yeah,
Ta-da.
it's people think when they, or and I did anyway, like my own personally, I always thought before I quit drinking that it was just quitting drinking. I didn't realize all of the other areas in your life that it impacts. And
Mhm.
so it leaves the door open to be constantly grateful for making that choice. And every day it shows up in different ways of, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was still drinking. I
Right.
wouldn't have appreciated this as much if I was still drinking. I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
remember it.
I wouldn't remember it. I wouldn't have enjoyed it, you know? And so there's just an everyday like moment of, huh, like, you know, it just never stops. So
Yeah.
I love it. I love
I,
it.
uh, I did state boards on Sunday, and for those that don't know, I can't talk too much about it, because I'm, like, legally bound not to, but I
Who's in the
basically
CIA? Just kidding. Just
no, it's the
kidding.
FD, not the CIA, but I watch and facilitate aspiring professionals to take their practical exam to get licensed in the field of cosmetology. So I had set my alarm for 5 a.m. and there was a big storm that night. It was very loud and very flashy. So I was in and out of consciousness for most of it. And when I looked at my watch at one point, it was 6:10. And I jumped out of bed, screamed, fuck, brushed my teeth, put my outfit on, and I ran out the door. Um, and miraculously didn't get a headache from not having caffeine until the afternoon. But my point being, there's no way I could have successfully done that job while running late if I was hungover. There's just no way. 10 years ago, I still would have been drunk at 5 a.m.
Oh, for sure.
to wake up.
Right.
So being able to do this like part-time job that I don't need, I like it, is
Right.
something I wouldn't have been able to do a decade ago. No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just never ending when it comes to I'm still shocked every day. Every day I'm still like, huh, like I get to do this now and I get to do it intentionally and deliberately and I just coming from a place of intention every day instead
Yeah,
of survival is a game changer. It just really really is. So,
it is for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else do
Where
we
you
have?
going?
What's coming up? I wanted my non-beer, my near beer.
I'm
Funny.
in hibernation mode now officially, and I'm really excited about it. I have been, and you as well, it's been like nonstop kind of like overnights for days at a time since June. And I just got back from my trip. I had gone to Door County twice. Granted, Susie came with me. Susie's my dog, for those who don't know. She had come with me to go to Door County, but I've been really looking forward to the time where I don't have any like overnights or anywhere I'm going kind of on
Yeah.
the books. So I'm ready to just kind of slow down and I'm really excited to set a new routine, get started on my sober coaching course and my holistic life coaching course and just kind of start, melting into fall and winter and the colder months and,
Mhm.
just seeing what happens. I love hibernation time. I really do.
Me too. We went to Barnes& and Noble and I got more books for my bookshelf. So
Nice.
that's what I'm doing this winter. Just
I
reading.
just got I just ordered, for my trip, I had downloaded one of those, like, really corny fall books called Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice.
Oh god.
It's because it's so me. I just wanted a, like, really, like, light airplane read, and I never ended up reading it, but I have it, and so I'm excited to, like, read it, just the corniness of it. It said I think on the description, it said something for lovers of Stars Hollow, so I was like,
Oh, perfect.
obviously, it's gonna be like Gilmore Girls cheese, so I'm all about that life anytime.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'll report back in detail all about
Yes,
this
me
book. I'm sure
too.
I'll have it done in like a day.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Excellent. This
Yeah.
weekend, this will have happened by the time this airs, but I go on that road trip with the girls up to Duluth on Friday and then to Ilgen Falls in
Oh,
Tetaguchi State Park up in Minnesota. So I go to Kat's house on Thursday. Hi, Kat. And Christina's meeting me there. Hi, Christina. And we're
and
driving.
Kat and Christina are her best friends that
Yeah,
are not me.
that's not Karin. But they are my two best friends. We are doing this road trip because we're celebrating 25 years of being friends, of putting up with each other, and
It's the
that's
same amount of time that Gilmore Girls has been out. Isn't that a
yeah,
coincidence?
and we've got matching Gilmore Girls tattoos, It's gonna be great. We were gonna get tattoos in Duluth, but my friend never messaged me back, so that's okay. We're gonna go hiking and we're gonna see some waterfalls and stuff.
That's
Uh,
awesome. Speaking of Duluth, we may or may not be having a guest from Duluth, Minnesota soon. So just a
Dude,
little, little sneaky peeky for ya. So I'm not going to say who it is yet, but you know,
I'm
they may
excited.
or may not be from Duluth, and we're really excited and about that one. So
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a guest.
it's been too long. We need a
Mhm.
guest. We need
Yeah.
somebody to talk to you besides us. Sure, you're all ready for it too.
Eh,
And of course, like we said, it will be a fellow alcohol free friend that will be sharing their story, maybe a little bit of their music for us.
Wait, music? Does that mean they're a musician from
I mean,
Duluth?
maybe they're not.
Let
I
us
guess we'll see.
let us know in the comments your guesses on who we're gonna have.
Those are some good hints there. So,
Yeah. And if you know
something to
us,
be excited about.
might be easy to figure out.
Maybe. We'll see, but we're really excited about having this person join us. We've been
Mhm.
talking about it for quite a while, and I'm excited to finally have that happen. I don't remember if it's like the next one or maybe like a couple down the road, but coming up soon enough.
I think it's not the next one, but the one after.
Right. So you'll have one more of us, just us, that you'll
Yeah.
have to deal with.
Sorry.
Um, yeah, sorry about you. Anyway, so I think, yeah, that pretty much sums up what we've got for you
Mhm.
today. Oh, one more thing I forgot. This
What
will
is it?
have already happened by the time this airs, but this weekend I am helping with social media for a really amazing sober event or alcohol free event and sober event from
Great.
our friend Emily. She has Sober Happy Free, which is her business, and she just creates amazing community and does these meetups and these different events for bringing people together. And she just did a hangover free hikers meetup. It was her first one this weekend. Unfortunately, I was gone, so I didn't get to go. She had 51 people show up.
No way!
51 for her
That's
first one.
huge.
Yeah, she did an amazing job, and she
Wow.
did a hangover brunch. She's going to be doing these, I can't remember the exact details, either the first or second Sunday of every month, I think.
First Sunday.
First Sunday of every month. There's we'll figure it out. We'll post about it. We'll,
Yeah.
make sure that you know about it and share the details for that. She's definitely somebody that we're hoping to have on the podcast at some point too, because she just does a lot of really great things and brings community together. And yeah, so her event this weekend is coming up. There's going to be live music. There's going to be goddess yoga, a cacao ceremony. There's going to be different vendors, different mocktails, just a lot of different things going on. So I'm really excited to be a part of that. And I'm excited for her to be creating this in Madison here because we needed it. So
Yeah. Sure. And it was a nice that's just another part of our organic leaning into sorry, my phone battery is dying again. An organic leaning into the alcohol-free living with people in our social circle. Emily and I didn't our Venn diagrams didn't quite overlap, but we have a lot of mutual friends and I didn't know her back then. So getting to know her now has been really cool. Having an idea of who she was before, but knowing her who she is now and having that different perspective is awesome. And what she's doing is really, really great and important work. And it's really cool to see her thrive and be so happy back in Madison again. And her mom is awesome. Shout out to Peggy.
yeah, definitely, definitely. It's been really fun to be in the presence of somebody, especially with me getting into sober coaching. There's
Yeah.
always that kind of like worry of, stepping on somebody's toes or getting in their way. And she has been like
Right.
nothing but absolutely incredibly supportive and just been really, really paramount in helping me want to go for it. She is not the kind of person that thinks of other people in the world as competition or
Right.
against her. So she's all about lifting each other up. And that's why she's so good at what she does. So I'm really excited to just learn from her and continue forging a friendship and a partnership with her in whatever way comes up in the future. So,
So
yeah. Anyway, just a couple of things that might come up for us and some things to look forward to. And, we thank you all for just kind of being along on this ride with us and still sticking it out while we're figuring it out. And, this is life, this is reality. We're not produced. We don't have a team. It's just her and I trying to figure things out as we go. And we are eternally grateful that you allow us the ability to be able to do that and have been patient with us as we navigate this whole damn thing. So, yay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all so much. And
NA cheers.
yeah, go try a new NA beverage.
You
Have
might
a
be
great day,
surprised
everyone.
at how similar it is to alcoholic beverages and the way that it tastes. And I mean, even though it says contains less than 0.5% alcohol, even though I know that I'm not going to get drunk, there's still that tiny voice in the back of my head that's like, if I drink enough of these, I might feel a buzz. And maybe that also
But
plays why I never finish it. Like
I don't think
there's probably
anybody
this
can
left. I'm not going to finish it.
I don't think, and a completely different subject now, but I don't think anybody is going to keep drinking more than one beer if they weren't getting drunk from it because you just get
Right.
bloated and gassy.
Yeah.
So like if you're out at the bars and you're drinking beer and it wasn't getting you drunk, I doubt people would be pounding back 12 of them. You're really only going to have like one or two anyway. So,
Right.
anyway, thank you all. Have a great rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you're listening to us or watching us.
Great.
Keep your
Thanks.
stick on yours. Bye. Hopes and Dreams podcast is recorded, edited, and produced by Karin Wall and Kylie Parsons. Music provided by the People Brothers Band. Donate to Hopes and Dreams at www.buymeacoffee.com/Hopes and Dreams podcast.